So I'm bored, very bored. I decided to look for some inspiration. After doing some research, I found this amazing video by Harold. Harold had 3 tutorials for me to follow, and after following all 3, I ended up with like a semi-working prototype. It had its issues. After following the tutorials, I ended up with this. Not too bad. I mean, it had all the basic mechanics of what you'd expect of a Titanfall game, except that you couldn't jump off the walls. But for some weird reason, you could jump off the pillars. Yeah, but this was really enjoyable to do. So I did end up wasting a couple hours just jumping around and curved walls as well. The grapple, however, was a complete mess. As soon as you'd stop grappling, you'd keep moving in the same velocity in whatever direction you're looking at, which completely broke the game.
6 months later.
I don't want to do this anymore, game dev is hard. I took a break. A very, very long break. I accidentally discovered this incredible tutorial by this guy called, I can't remember, but this is the thumbnail for the video. I'll make sure to include a link to it down below. But this basically carried the whole project. And yeah, I found my drive again. After a cheeky little breakfast, after following that tutorial for about 4 hours, I ended up with this. Well, not exactly, because it didn't include wall running, but it wasn't too hard to add. For all you nerds out there, I do have my code over here. Bear in mind this is the old code, so this was in the prototype stage. Basically just checking the wall run over here and like actual doing the maths for it, and then this was how far I could look before the wall run would stop. So in Titanfall, as you know, you could look away from the wall and you'd still be able to wall run. They were both very crappy. I didn't really like them, so I did have to make much more improvements to them, but it worked well as a prototype. I needed a map, and I didn't want to reinvent the wheel, so oh, I've also got a grapple. This was absolutely amazing to use. It was hella fun, and all thanks to, I forgot his name, but I'll mention him later on in the vid. All thanks to him, I figured out how to make the grapple, and it worked amazing. Okay, more code. I'ma speedrun this. So first, the can wall run. Checks if the wall is on the left or right behind the player, returns the ball. This one is long, but it creates all possible directions that can move along the wall and picks one. Obviously going forward has the highest bias. The next part of the code just applies the velocity, so I won't bother explaining that. I don't even know how my wall running works, because all the velocity handling is a mess and I need to remake all of it. Phew, finally. I'm just going to explain what this is. I'll be honest, I've got no idea what's going on here. I can't remember what I was talking about. So I'm just gonna pretend that this never happened and just like fast forward a bit. Should be about now. Anyway, so over here I thought you guys could see the square, but I bothered explaining everything and whatnot, but you couldn't see it. So I'm just gonna do this through the voiceover. Waiting for it to show, come on. So keeping in mind the image from earlier, these are all the possible directions the player could be moving in: parallel, perpendicular, and just up and down the wall. Due to gravity, or like how in Titanfall when you first start wall running you have this short boost in the y-axis just to add some effect, I guess, and then you would slowly drop down when you're nearly about to fall off, not as you're wall running, so it's kind of an indicator that the wall run is about to end. The main system I've got going on here is that the wall running works, the direction that your wall running works by checking your load direction as well as your input direction and calculating the vectors between them with the bias included. So you could look 90 degrees away from the wall, but as long as you're holding down A, you would still be going along the wall. And the bias for the parallel directions, so either forward or back, are much greater than those that are perpendicular. I'll be honest, I don't know how my code is working right now because it's a total mess. It's all spaghetti code. I do need to go back and refactor all of this, but if it works, it works. Oh, grapple hooks. Everyone just wants to know. So this just checks the grapple, and this is the actual physics for the grapple, so this is that's important. This lovely man, survivor 123, I think it was, after DMing this guy and speaking to him for a bit, he gave me the great idea of using of thinking that the grapple is more like an elastic band than the actual grapple hook, which drags you to a point. And yeah, that one word just like opened up my mind, I guess, and figured it out. The wall running needs to be reworked urgently, as well as the grapple. There's a lot of features that I can add to it. I am making a map, which I'll show in the next vid, so subscribe, and I'll see you lot in like 6 months. Bye!